How you doing, people? Roller here. Another wee video to cover topics that's important to the people. Now, I'm watching things very, very closely. As you know, I've took a wee back step just now. Now, it's very concerning. And the reason it's very concerning is there's still no remedy there, people. And it's diabolical, what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing. First point I'm hearing is that an individual's want to walk from Scotland to London 600 miles to the Westminster Parliament. Now, let me be clear on this. That's a joke. Why would you want to walk from Scotland to London? It doesn't make sense, people. Right, and I'll tell you the reason why. Now, Westminster is the main control mechanism for the whole of the entity known as United Kingdom. England, Ireland, Wales and Scotland. Westminster control the lands of Scotland and all the services and all the budgets, right? So what's wrong with that? You don't have to walk from Scotland to London. We have to shut down the control mechanism in Scotland, which is the entity known as Scottish Parliament, Scottish Government, private corporations. This is the point what people's missing. Private corporations is controlling everything. That's why you have no services, and it's right in front of your face. But it doesn't seem to be that people want to do something about it. They just want to talk about it and waking people up and hand out newspapers and all the rest of the nonsense. That doesn't make any difference, right? Doesn't make any difference. Something has to be done, and done now. Now, the biggest problem we have in our lives with courts, councils, sheriff officers, the police, social services and every other legal corporation is the word coercion. And what is implications of coercion? It affects everybody's life in one way or another. Coercion. These men and women that represent these corporations think they have power, jurisdiction and authority over the sovereign man, sovereign woman. They don't. It's a presumption of power that has to be rebutted at every time and challenged. Now, coercion. What is coercion, people? Coercion is they're trying to nullify your rights and your will. No man or woman on this planet has that right or that authority over another. And as I keep saying, there has to be a man or woman making a claim that you're their property, or there's a contract in place. Statutory legislation, rules, regulations and policies is maritime law created by legislators, solicitor, lawyer, liars, whores of Babylon. Right? Now, they use fictitious titles to escape liability. And this is what the problem is, but people don't pick up on this. They think they just go out in the street and talk about this and talk about that. It's a bigger picture here, and people have to step up to the mark. Others change will never happen. The only change that's going to happen is you're going to get digital ID, 15-minute cities, more vaccinations, and whatever else they want to throw at you. Now, people, you have to pay attention to what I'm telling you, because I'm one of the main truthers out of the lands of Scotland. I talk the talk and walk the walk, and it's been proved over nearly the last 12 years. I've been arrested and all the rest of it, as the people knows the history of what I went through. I don't need to keep repeating it. Now, the other part of coercion is to compel to enact. Right? Compel to enact or choice. Every man and woman in the lands of Scotland has a choice. And it's up to the man or woman to enforce that choice and not be compelled to enact or choice by men and women representing corporations. These men and women are using fictitious titles, fictitious names, fictitious corporate names to escape liability. And they're still getting away with it because people sit back and ignorant to the facts. I've been telling you for over 3 years on the street how this works. I know the system inside and out. And change will happen if people listen. What's happening out there just now isn't going to make change, people. That's a fact. what has to happen here is you have to stop filling in census forms, right? Stop registering to vote and stop voting. We require 51 to 52% of the people in the lands of Scotland to go in that direction. It doesn't matter about the other 48 or other 49%. We can challenge them then because they don't have the majority. And everything, as you're aware, in their legal system, legal society, what's on the majority. The other thing as well, the voting system is fraud all the way from the start to finish. The registering to vote and the voting. And that word, that magic word, person, no man or woman, person. The other question is going to be asked here, people, right? They say in the Acts, person. If the man or woman's name is not in that act, there is no consent and there is no contract, they cannot enforce it. And when people start coming together and listening to what they've been told here on this video, change will happen. It's wrong what's happening out there, because nothing's going to change, and that's a fact. It doesn't matter how many times people talk about the vaccination injured and all the rest of it, including myself. It's time to step up and do something about it, right? We can stop these 15-minute cities, the people. We the people can stop the digital ID. Now, the World Health Organization and the World Economic Forum have no jurisdiction in the lands of Scotland or anywhere in the entity known as United Kingdom. And it doesn't matter that Sunak says that he's going to sign the sovereignty of the United Kingdom over to the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, NATO, or whatever else, United Nations. It doesn't matter. He's signing over the rights to a corporation that doesn't exist. He's not signing over the man or woman's rights or the landmass of the lands of Scotland, the lands of England, the lands of Wales and the lands of Ireland, right? There's a difference, as I keep telling you. When you're standing in the street, standing in a park, standing on a pavement, you're standing in the landmass of the lands of Scotland. And that's the difference. This is a big game they're playing, people. They're manipulating the language, legalese and dog Latin, the language of Babylon. Legalese looks and sounds like English, but it is not English, because everything that they state and everything they say and put on paper is word trickery. It has secret meanings. And I verify that in private capacity under full personal liability. It's a fact in law. And they're getting away with it because people don't understand and they're ignorant to the facts. Now, if people really want change, they have to listen to myself and Anti-Corruption Scotland. There is only one direction that people can go in this if you want change. We have to remove every man and woman that acts in capacity as a politician. Every man and woman that acts in community councils, because they're manipulating and passing things without the people's consent. Like you get an example, like maybe a hall, maybe 40 people in it at a community meeting. And you maybe, I don't know how it was, I'm going to one tomorrow night because I'm not happy with what I'm hearing. I want to see what they're up to and I'm going to object to it, right? These people, maybe 3 or 4, I don't know how many, it could be more, I don't know, councillors or whatever you want to call them, passed something. It came to my attention recently, down at Whitefield Community Hall. They passed a motion that they're going to put a bus lane across my street all the way along the main road, and they're going to pedestrianise the street where I'm not going to be allowed to park outside my house. That's not going to happen, people. This is what these scumbags, liars, paid liars, ratbags are doing behind your back. They're not getting full disclosure. It's the same as the planning. They were building houses along the road for me. They were only supposed to be part 1, but they've done a part 2. There was never any letter sent out to object for any objections. They're flouting the planning permission. It's the same as 5G masks, right, on the street. These are a danger to the people, well-being and health, right? A lot of people are not aware of this because people don't know any better. They don't listen, they don't research, they sit back and believe paid liars like Nicola Sturgeon, John Sweeney, Patrick Harvey and the rest of the scumbags in the Scottish Parliament. These men and women don't have that power if you take them in their individual capacity, private capacity as a man or a woman, and target them individually. If you get thousands of people putting a notice of intent in, a statement of claim and notice liability, and tell them they're going to be held liable in a private capacity. If you get communities to do that all over the lands of Scotland, England, Ireland and Wales, you'll see a change, people, because then they have no authority, right? There's only 129 of these trash bags in the Scottish Parliament, right? There's over 5 million people in the lands of Scotland. Where did they get the authority to say that they're going to pass statutes, rules, regulations and policies that's not a law, right? It's part of a legal system. A legal society was created by the lawyers, the lawyer liars and the Bar Association, right? And it's a major fraud. The court system is corrupt. The councils are corrupt. Social services are corrupt. Police Scotland is corrupt, right? And they're ripping people off every day for money. Every part of your life's affected by this, people, and it needs to change. And the only way to change this and get it in order is through a sovereign government, selected from the people, by the people, for the people, that's going to reinstate the public services and get them back, protect the elderly, the sick, the homeless, stop the homelessness, right? Take back the control of the border, stop giving out handouts to Tom, Dick and Harry's coming in this country that's not paid into the pot, right? They're getting away, it's my understanding it's costing $2 billion a week for all these refugees and immigrants. It's supposed to be war-torn countries, which is a load of nonsense, because it seems to be only guys that's coming over here, right? No women and kids, right? You don't hear too much now about Ukraine. What happened to that? Is that just an illusion? That is an illusion, right? They've had so much money as well, it's unbelievable. Meanwhile, our people, our elderly, our sons and daughters are starving and struggling in life because these scumbags in the Scottish Parliament, the Westminster Parliament, think that they've got the power over the people to abuse the power. These people are domestic terrorists against the people with what they've done, with the vaccinations, the injured and the deaths that's been caused. Right, the evidence is out there, people. What does it take for you people to wake up and smell the coffee? Right? You want change, don't register to vote, don't vote, and stop falling in senses and giving information because it relates to the person, entity, independent existence from the man or woman. They attach this legal dead entity to the man or woman to hold you surety and liable. As I keep saying, that's why they've got the all black capital name, right? Because you're dead, you don't exist. And a prime example, as I keep saying, when you walk into these public buildings called courts, you're walking into an administrative hearing, corporate place of business. When you walk in the box they call the dock, you do not get recognised, you do not get seen, and you do not get heard, right? And when you confirm the name, you've just screwed yourself. The lawyer liars that take you in there are committing fraud against the people because they're diminishing your capacity from a man to a woman to a person. And I verify this because I've got first-hand knowledge, and I'll verify under a charge of perjury. And that's a fact. Now, I'm hearing a lot of things about Labour are the answer to the problems. Stammer and all these politicians in Westminster, even in the Scottish Parliament, are all rooting for the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, NATO and United Nations. They want a one world government, one world police force, one world benefit and one world bank system, right? Now, as I said before in a previous video, the Bank of England is a private corporation. People that take mortgages out, with like example the Royal Bank of Scotland, Clydesdale Bank, the TSB or whatever, your agreement is with them. And it's not a contract because they never sign the document when they give you the money. Your signature creates the credit. So how does the Bank of England manage to put up interest rates on you people? You've not got a contract with these people. You've had no interactions with these people. And this is where the deception, the illusion and the fraud is happening, people. Please wake up and smell the coffee. It's important, right? I'm going to be back on the street shortly, people. I've just had a wee break. It's time to wake up and come back out and play. Because I miss coming out to play. Because I cause so much controversy. And I can rile a crowd for the right reason. People's attitudes, people's thinking, and people, the way they do things needs to change. It's not just about awakening people. We've passed the point of awakening people. We're at the point now we have to do something. Right? We don't need to like each other to do what we've got to do. We've got a common purpose to stop the tyranny against the people. the elderly and the sick. And again, we're seeing the hospitals are supposed to be jam-packed, busy, right? That's the reason. That is because that's the mechanism to get control, making out that they are overrun, right? Stop bringing Tom, Dick and Harry in here, handing out all sorts of money, healthcare, nurseries, schools, houses, giving them free rent, and all the rest of it. And then we might get a better system for our own people that was born and bred here, right? And I'm not being racist, but it scunners me to see what's going on. And I've seen a lot of things done my way recently, and it's diabolical what's going on here. Now, the other thing I want to say to you people, stop paying by your card in the shops when you're shopping, right? You're falling into the control mechanism for a cashless society. We have to keep cash. Cash is king, right? You lose your freedoms and rights. If you lose cash, they've got full control. We have to stop the digital ID, because you want to do away with your driving licence, your passport and all the rest of it, and put an app on your phone. They want to do away with everything in paper away with it. And if they get the digital ID, they've won, right? We can't have a world, the central bank, as they call it, Bank of England, we can't allow them to do what they're doing either. Other things, when you get into the shop and they're telling you they only accept cash, challenge them on the law, people, because there is no law requires a man or woman or a person to pay cash. It's in their rules, regulations and policies. Challenge them. Get them to show you the policies and tell them that the policies don't apply to yourself. You're in there to get a service and you have the choice to pay whatever way you want to pay, right? And if they don't want to take it, people, just leave it and walk out and go somewhere else that takes cash. Because when they start losing money, then they'll start changing their attitude. It's diabolical that people are getting in there, bleep, bleep, bleep. What a nonsense. You don't realise what's happening. It's like the digital ID. There's 3 points to this digital ID. Face recognition, finger recognition, or eye recognition. Now, if you allow them, this is going to affect your medical records, your benefits and everything. And you won't be able to get any public services for your council unless you're registered in digital ID. We can't allow this, people. Wake up, smell the coffee. Pay attention again to what I'm telling you. I verify everything I say in this video in private capacity under full personal liability, even under a charge of perjury, in any court jurisdiction in the lands of Scotland, the lands of England, Wales and Ireland. Even the Supreme Court, it's not even a court, that's another corporate place of business full of liars. Anyway, people, I've said what I'm going to say. Please pay attention to what's happening. Take care. Please share this information far and wide. It's very important that this information gets out there. Please share far and wide. Listen to what I've told you, people. Everything I'm telling you is fact. The time to waken people up is by. The time to do something is here. And it's a fact. And if you don't step up to the mark and start doing and fighting back, you have inalienable and inherent rights, people. You don't have duties, obligations and responsibilities. The people that work for this legal system, legal society have that. You do not have that, right? And that's a fact. Again, statutory legislation is maritime law. It's the law of the sea, the law of contract, commerce, right? And that's a fact. And that's what people have to take on board. And remember the coercion, to nullify your will, compelled to an act or a choice. These men and women that represent these corporations don't fucking have that. And another thing, the M8 motorway, they've put the speed cameras back up, right? This is the point I want to make before I finish, people, right? They're saying it's only for 3 months because of bray heat and things like that. Certain areas they're getting into, you've got to be 30 miles an hour. Now, they're saying 3 months. Now, this is where the people have to wake up and pay attention. You've let them in the front door by allowing them to do this. When the 3 months up, they're going to extend it indefinite because they're saying it's working. They're going to lie. And it's all about control mechanism over the people of the lands of Scotland. And we can't have that, right? We can't have it, people. It's the same as the Glasgow City Centre. They're saying that it's a zone, the carbon monoxide and all the rest. That's another lie. The other thing as well, a couple of weeks ago they had an emergency meeting about climate change. There is no climate change in Scotland, people. They're lying to you. The weather, we've got a wee bit drier weather. We don't get hot, we don't have tornadoes around, we don't have major floods. As I said before in a previous video, the floods is in low parts of the area where the water goes into and sits. That's it. We don't get floods all over the place. It's a nonsense, right? They're lying to you. And as soon as you people wake up and realise they're lying, the sooner we can do something about this and do it at a rapid pace. We've not got any more time to waste, people, and that includes the lands of England, the lands of Wales and Ireland, right? It's time to stand up and be counted. It's time to fight back. It's time to remove consent. Don't fill in census. Don't register to vote and don't vote. They don't have that power. That's your choice. You cannot, a man or woman cannot be compelled to act their choice, and they cannot nullify your will. Your will is stronger than theirs. And it's time we enforce the choice and the will on them and tell them they don't have that power or authority. Anyway, people, I'm going to leave it there. Again, please share this video far and wide. Your friends, your neighbours, your aunties, your uncles, your sons, your daughters, your cousins, second cousins, the groups. It's important that this information gets out there, people. As I says, I'll be back shortly. I'm going to come back with a vengeance. The van's ready. I just got to get things prepared. I've got looking at getting another couple of banners made before I get back on the street with important information. Because when I go back on the street, I want to make it like a classroom, explain everything, right? And remember, people, for the people in the lands of Scotland, Scotland People's website, if you order a birth certificate or an extract, you get a receipt. It tells you have an entity ID and it's the all capital name. Remember this as well, this valid point. We were never taught at school to write an all capital name. My name is Robert capital A, Sproul capital S. That's the way we were taught to write, people. This is where the Babylon language comes in, right? And the legalese trickery. Wake up, smell the coffee, and let's get something done about this, people. Now. No later. Now. Anyway, people, you take care. Have a lovely day and be safe. And I'll speak to you soon. I'd like to thank everybody for taking time to watch this video and let me be heard. And I really respect the people that watch the video, the people that share it, and the people that have faith and trust in myself. I don't need to give misinformation to people. I tell you the truth. I tell you how it is, and that's a fact. A fact and law. Anyway, people, take care. I'll speak to you soon and be safe. Bye-bye.